I used to be a hitman, retired for years, but to buy a wedding ring for my fiancée, I decided to take one last contract. That night, I received a hit contract from a client whose ID started with A, but the moment I opened the file, cold sweat soaked my shirt, because the man in the picture was definitely me, no doubt about it. Suddenly, the client pinged me. They say you are the best assassin around. Why is it taking you so long to decide? The screen glow washed over my pale face. I stared at the monitor, my heart racing for a long time. Finally, I typed a response. Ma'am, how do you want him dead? Her reply was instant. Anyway is fine, as long as it is untraceable and his organs stay intact. Then, a notification for $500,000 appeared. Even though I could not verify her identity, I stared at my own smiling face in that photo. I mockingly typed back, asking what her connection was to him. She was incredibly sloppy, admitting right away that he was her fiancé. Suppressing my boiling rage, I asked for her motive, but she immediately became defensive. What does that have to do with the contract? I know Sun Yan too well. She is usually too scared to kill a chicken. She knows nothing about this dark business. I had to invent a lie. To help you get away with this, I need to know his social circle. But she did not buy it, replying simply, just do your job before logging off. Watching her avatar go dark, my chest felt like it was pierced by a knife. I had abandoned my syndicate for her, leaving that life behind without a second thought. Just last night, she was cuddled up in my arms, sweetly whispering about baby names and wanting to give me twins. She promised to cook and wait for me every evening. Those warm words still echoed in my mind, but that $500,000 hit me like ice water. She is just a low-paid intern. Where did she get that kind of cash? By dawn, I slipped back into our rented apartment. In her sleep, Sun Yan wrapped her arms around me. Why are you up so early? I stared at her. The woman who does my laundry and whom everyone calls the perfect partner, could she really be this cold-blooded? Could she be the one who wants me dead? Honey, I booked you a premarital health exam. Do not forget to see Dr. Chen. I have an afternoon meeting, she said, sitting up. Her desperation was strangely intense. I just really want us to get married. Do not be angry, okay? Staring at her nervous face, I chose to play along. Sure, I will head over later. She kissed me eagerly. Make sure you see Dr. Chen. Once I stepped outside, Dr. Chen called my phone. Glancing at the prearranged checkup list, my suspicion deepened. I bypassed the hospital and went straight to the coffee shop downstairs instead. Liu Yan, an information broker legend, sat across from me. Why did you become a boring office drone? I skipped the small talk, took the file, paid him, and walked out. Inside the cab, I tore open the envelope. Sun Yan was already married. The date on their marriage license was the exact same day she and I first crossed paths. And her husband was Shen Yanji, the son of a billionaire. From the start, everything had been a meticulously designed trap. The papers in my hands felt like searing hot metal, making my fingers tremble. I leaned back in the taxi, watching the city blur past outside the window. My mind was completely numb. In the photo, Sun Yan smiled beautifully beside a handsome but incredibly pale man. It was Shen Yanji, the sole heir to the massive Shen conglomerate. Their wedding date matched the day I rescued her from a street fight. Our romantic meeting was not destiny. It was a snare set by a patient hunter. And I, the lethal assassin who once terrified the country's most powerful elites, had been reduced to a rich man's walking organ bank. The cab pulled up to the private clinic. The location was isolated, surrounded by high concrete walls topped with razor wire. I stayed in the vehicle. My killer instincts warned me that if I met with Dr. Chen today as she requested, I would never walk out alive. I lit a cigarette, inhaled deeply, and spoke up. Hey, driver, what is the story with this place? I asked. Taking the 200 yuan I slipped him, he replied, buddy, you look decent, so take my advice. Go to the municipal clinic if you are sick. This place is cursed. I nodded, cracked the door open, and stepped out. I avoided the front lobby. Walking through there was suicide. Sneaking to the rear wall, I bypassed the security cameras using blind spots and scaled it. Although I had been retired for 2 years, my training remained intact. I dropped silently to the ground and slipped inside. The corridors were completely dead and silent. Guided by Liu Wen's intelligence, I located Dr. Chen's office. Inside, someone spoke. The procedure is set. Once he arrives, we will sedate him and wheel him straight to the basement operating room. Young Master Shen is fading fast. We need that heart transplant immediately. Does he suspect anything? That voice was incredibly sweet, yet it chilled me to the bone. Just hours ago, those same lips whispered that she wanted to start a family with me, promising to cook for me forever. Another voice scoffed. No way. He is pathetic and broke, working extra jobs just for a cheap ring. Gullible fools like him are easy prey. Keep his organs perfect, especially the heart. Shen Yanji is running out of time. Footsteps approached, and I ducked inside a nearby closet. The door clicked open, and Sun Yan stepped out. Hang on a bit longer, Yanji. The donor has arrived. The surgeon says the success rate is extremely high. A donor? That was all I was to her. Once she left, I stepped out of the closet. The warmth in my soul had completely died. Only a cold, ruthless focus remained. I shoved the doctor's door open. He stood with his back to me, organizing surgical tools. Sun Yan just left. What is? I remained silent, shutting and locking the door behind me. Realizing something was off, the surgeon spun around quickly. When his eyes landed on me, his face twisted from sheer confusion to absolute terror. How did you get in here? You were supposed to come through the front door. Dr. Chen, I hear you want to steal my heart. Wait, do not do anything reckless. You are Sun Yan's fiancé. I am only conducting a standard routine checkup. Standard checkups require heavy sedation. Do they require moving me to a secret basement operating theater? I will give you 3 minutes. Download every record concerning Shen Yanji and Sun Yan immediately. 1 second too late, and I will open your throat. 5 minutes. Later, I had the files and compatibility reports. Shen Yanji suffered from severe congenital heart failure, and Sun Yan was his actual, legal wife. Shen Yongji has an incredibly rare blood type. As it turns out, I am the only person on Earth whose biological markers perfectly match his donor requirements. But here is the ultimate irony. I saved Sun Yan 2 years ago because Liu Yan's investigation into that car crash proved the accident was actually engineered. Suining hunted me for 3 whole years, targeting me solely for my heart in a 2-year-long act. Even the assassination contract I took, after coming out of retirement, one that required me to end my own life, was just her final test. She wanted to see if I was truly desperate for cash, and if I had completely transitioned into an ordinary guy. Already turned into an ordinary guy, I pocketed the USB drive, struck Dr. Chen hard on the back of his head, took off my jacket, and put on his white coat, mask, and glasses. Now the game truly begins. I walked out of the office, and my phone suddenly buzzed with a message. It was from Fei. Nearing, I stood in the hospital corridor and answered. The reply came instantly. He will appear at the Shen Group's private club at 2 p.m. this afternoon. I stared at the text and got an idea. Since Sun Yan wants to play, I will play a massive game with her, find out where Chen Yangxi is right now, and get me a batch of gearsome old rules. Are you insane? The Chens have you under total surveillance. Sun Yan is no ordinary woman. She is backed by the Shen Group's entire security force. Half of their guards are retired mercenaries from our old organization. Perfect. In that case, let us help our old colleagues brush up on their skills. Back at the apartment, Suining was not home yet. The place still felt warm and cozy. The underwear she washed for me hung on the balcony. On the table sat the plain kanji she made this morning, untouched. If I had not read that file, I would truly believe I was the happiest man alive. I had planned to throw all of this into the ocean on our wedding day, but, looking at things now, I must bring them to this grand feast. 2 p.m., Shen Group's private club, the ultimate playground for the city's wealthy elite. Security at the gates is incredibly tight, requiring biometric scans for everyone. But not for me. Dressing in a sharp suit and a pair of simple glasses, I carried a forged project proposal. Using the ongoing expansion of the Shen Group building as a cover, I easily posed as a project supervisor and slipped in through the employee entrance. The 3rd floor is Shen Yanji's private lounge. I watched Sun Yan hold his arm intimately as they strolled past. He looked incredibly frail, stopping to catch his breath after just a few steps. Sun Yan looked deeply distressed, gently wiping the sweat from his pale forehead. They looked like a deeply devoted couple. Don't worry, Yanzi, the heart donor has been found. Dr. Chen said he is getting examined today, and as long as his vitals check out, we can operate next week. Nianyan, that Lin Feng guy, is he not your fiancé? You have been together for 2 years. Can you really bear to kill him? What she said next sent a shiver down my spine, even though I am a killer myself. Yanzi, he is just a tool, nothing more than a container for your new heart. Being sweet to him was just to preserve it. I forced him to work as a hitman to test his cardiovascular endurance under extreme pressure. Now that the test is done, he is useless. She said it so casually, like she was talking about throwing out garbage. I hid in the shadows, my hand tightly gripping the blade at my hip. All the sweetness of these past 2 years was nothing but a calculated sham. I believed I was building a home with my soulmate, but I was just a pig being fattened for slaughter. If that is the case, proceed with your plan. And leave no traces. I do not want the Shen family name ruined by someone like him. I chose not to strike just yet. Ending them now would be too easy. I want them to plunge from heaven directly into hell, to taste what real, absolute despair feels like. Sun Yin clearly did not expect that the elite assassin she hired would find out her secrets. How much do you want? Plus, I want to see Mrs. Chen's own hand slice open her fiancé's chest. Is something wrong, Nianian? No, nothing. The killer said there was a slight issue and is raising his price, but the flash of malice in her eyes did not escape my notice. Fine. The abandoned chemical plant outside the city. I will bring it. Deal. The sun was shining brightly outside, but to me, it was blinding. She had already hired a wedding planner. The ceremony is next month. How incredibly determined she was to secure my heart safely. She maintained the charade until the final second. Honey, I am home. I will make your favorite sweet and sour ribs tonight. I sat on the couch, watching her flutter around. I felt absolutely nothing. Honey, why did you skip your checkup? Dr. Chen said he waited for you all afternoon. I had some urgent work to wrap up, and got held up. It is fine, tomorrow is the same. I closed a massive deal today, and the boss lent me his suburban villa as a reward. Let us go stargazing there tonight, okay? Those sweet eyes I used to lose myself in now looked like empty glass beads, completely devoid of warmth. Sure. In fact, I have a surprise for you too. Really, what is it? You will see when we get there. I helped her set the sweet and sour ribs on the table. I ate heartily during that dinner, knowing deep down this was the absolute final meal of our utterly ridiculous relationship. Honey, eat more. You have gotten so thin. Your heartbeat is not as strong as it used to be. Nianian, you have heard my heartbeat, right? Of course. Every night I rest my head on your chest and hear it so clearly. It is the sweetest sound ever. If she only knew my heart was plotting to destroy her plans, I wonder if she would still think it sounded sweet. At 9:30 p.m., Sun Yin drove me toward the desolate outskirts of Zhongcheng. Are we there yet? I feigned anxiety. Almost. It is just up ahead. The view is amazing, and nobody will disturb us. Sun Yin tightly gripped the steering wheel. Staring fixedly ahead, the car stopped at the gate of an abandoned chemical plant. Total darkness surrounded us, with only the wind howling against the rusted tin roof. Get out. I pushed the door open, but before I could steady myself, blinding floodlights erupted, and 8 massive men stepped out of the shadows. They stepped out of the shadows, weapons gleaming. Lin Feng, quit acting. You think I don't know your tricks? You had Liu Yan investigating me. You followed me to the hospital, trying to turn the tables and blackmail me for $1 million. Do you really think you are still the king of killers after 2 years of easy living? It turned you into a delusional idiot who just daydreams. So this is your big surprise? That is right, Dr. Chen. There is no operating room here. But dealing with a living person should be no problem, right? Do not worry, Mrs. Chen. Even in these ruins, my skills can harvest that heart completely intact. Ha ha ha. Sun Yan, have you ever actually looked into my past? What do you mean? In the assassin world, they have a nickname for me. They call me Shadow Demon. It means wherever there is a shadow, that is my home turf. A sniper, you brought backup. Those are not reinforcements. That is the defense line I set up 2 years ago. 5 minutes, just 5 minutes, outside the chemical plant, only a trembling Dr. Chen and a pale Sun Yan remained. Now, it is my turn to ask you, How do you want him to die? Lin Feng, darling, I am sorry. The Shen family forced me. Shen Yanji threatened my entire family's lives. Still acting. In the files Liu Yuan gave me, besides your marriage certificate, there is a secret agreement between you and Chen Yanji. As soon as Chen Yanji dies, you inherit 40% of the shares under his name. But without a heart transplant, he has 6 months to live at most, so you are not trying to save him. You are just keeping him alive long enough for that agreement to kick in. Sun Yan, you are the real monster here. You have killed far more than I ever did. Just then, my phone vibrated on the concrete floor. I picked it up and pressed answer. On the screen, Shen Yanzi was lying in a luxury hospital suite, his oxygen mask heavily fogged up. Lin Feng, let Nianian go. You want money? I will give you any amount. I stared down at the dying man on the screen. Mr. Shen, I do not lack money, but I just thought of a much more fun game. You want to live, right? Sun Yan wants that too. But right now, there is only one chance. I handed the dagger to Sun Yan. Kill him, Mrs. Chen. Just sign a statement on camera giving up all Shen family assets and watch him draw his final breath. Do that, and you go free. Otherwise, I bury you both right here. Sun Yan froze. Chen Yanzi was completely paralyzed too. The air in the chemical plant seemed to freeze. On the other end of the screen, his breathing grew heavy and ragged. Sun Yan stood there under the harsh light, her expression morphing multiple times in a second. Fear, intense struggle, and then it finally settled into a chilling coldness I had never seen before. Yan Yan, what are you doing? Lin Feng, if I do this, will you really let me go? You are in no position to bargain. Either he dies and you live, or you both die. Do not blame me, Shen Yanji. Your broken body only has a few days left anyway. Instead of taking the family fortune to your grave, you might as well do me one last favor. You said you loved me more than anything, right? Then give me your life, I sneered. So this is what they call true love in wealthy families. It is not even worth a scrap of paper when facing death. But just as Sun Yan reached to sign my electronic agreement, things went wrong. Suddenly, bang, another sharp gunshot echoed through the space. But this time, the bullet was not aimed at the bodyguards. It shattered the phone directly in my hand. It exploded instantly in a shower of sparks. Sun Yan screamed and hit the ground. My instincts kicked in immediately. I dove behind an old machine tool. Shadow Demon, it has been 2 years. Your edge has gone dull. A gravelly voice echoed from the factory, 2nd floor, stepping out of the shadows. My heart sank. These were not mere bodyguards. That tight tactical movement, that chilling, familiar tone, they were from the organization. Lin Feng, after all the training we poured into you, did you think retiring was like going grocery shopping? You do not just leave whenever you want. I gripped my dagger tightly, my palm soaked in sweat. I finally understood everything. The Shen family wanted my heart, but Sun Yan was not just a wife. She was an observer from the organization. That whole rescue act 2 years ago was a lie. Her companionship over these 2 years was not to protect my heart, but to watch me 24/7. They needed a perfect donor for elite clients like the Shens. I was just their lamb. Sun Yan, your mission failed. I am sorry, instructor. The target is harder to control than expected. We were all living under a massive glass dome. My peaceful retirement was actually a 2-year-long surveillance show. Oh, Lin Feng, do not struggle anymore. Mr. Shen's surgery is scheduled for 8 a.m. tomorrow. To ensure your heart stays active, we must take you back alive. Hurry, grab him, he almost killed Mrs. Chen. I stared at the crowd. The fury I had bottled up for 2 years finally boiled over completely. You want my life? Let us see if you have the guts to take it. I slammed the remote in my pocket. Boom, a massive explosion tore through the air. Outside, under the cover of the blast, I dragged Dr. Chen up as a shield and bolted like an arrow toward the side exit. Out of nowhere, open fire, bullets tore through the air like rain. Dr. Chen was instantly shot full of holes. He died without ever realizing he was just a tiny speck of dust in this massive game. Using his body as a shield, I slipped into a drainage pipe, escaping the chemical plant. I avoided the city. I knew every camera was already hunting for me. The Shen family and the organization had joined forces. In this city, I was just a cornered rat. I knew this would happen, a voice on my line said. Your old employer and the Shins are working together. Now, cops and criminals are hunting you. Who the hell is Sun Yan, anyway? Her real name is Su Cheng, a social assassin trained by the organization. She is best at psychological manipulation. She did not just marry Shen Yanzi. She is secretly dealing with his competitors too. This woman plays a dangerous game. She wants all the profits for herself. What kind of monster had I lived with for 2 years? Lin Feng, you are in extreme danger. Your heart is worth 500 million, right? Right now, Shen Yanzi is hanging on by a thread, willing to pay any price for your life. Since they want it that bad, I will deliver it to them myself. Are you crazy? Relax. Shen's hospital is a fortress right now. That is my heart. Only I decide when it stops beating. Lu Yuan, help me find that 40% Shen family equity transfer agreement. Since Sun Yan wants money so badly, I will let her watch that money burn to ash. Yanzi, let me explain. Back at the chemical plant, I only said that to keep Lin Feng calm. Nian, hand me that agreement. I will sign it. As long as I finish the surgery, everything the Shen family owns will be yours. Just as Shen Yanzi, shakily picked up the pen, the room suddenly went pitch black. Who is there? Sun Yan screamed. A deep voice echoed in the darkness, cold as the Grim Reaper. Sun Yan, did you forget that once a hitman takes a job, they do not rest until it is finished? She tried frantically to turn on the light, but I pressed a hard object against the back of her head. Do not move. One more twitch and your brains will splatter all over the silk quilt Mr. Shen loves most. I yanked the curtain open, letting moonlight pour in. Shen. Yanzi looked at me in horror. Lin Feng, how did you get in here? Your Shen family's security is professional, but they only guard against humans, not ghosts. Lin Feng, what do you want? I can give you money, loads of money. I do not want money. I want to tear away the last veil of this scam. Sun Yan, tell Shen Yanzi the truth. Do you really expect him to survive surgery? Mr. Shen, you probably do not know your attending physician. Dr. Chen is already dead. The person who replaced him is an old friend I invited. Mr. Chen, let me reintroduce myself. I do not know squat about treating patients, but I know chemistry inside out. Those imported meds Sun Yan gave you are not life-saving drugs at all. They are slow-acting neurotoxins. Even if you get a new heart tomorrow, you won't survive more than 3 days. All the assets under your name must undergo a 3-day lockup period before they can be fully transferred to Sun Yan's account. You vicious, cruel woman, ha ha ha, so what if I am? Shen Yanzi, a bedridden loser like you, should not have hogged everything belonging to the Shen family. You have been clinging to those resources, refusing to let go. Why the hell should I waste my life stuck with you? I waited for you for 3 years. I have had enough of this crap. Do not get cocky, Lin Feng. You think you have one? The guys I called already have this place surrounded. None of us are getting out of here. You are safe today. You think I am scared? As soon as I finished speaking, a shrill alarm went off outside the villa, and the roar of a helicopter circled overhead. Powerful searchlights lit the room as bright as day. You cannot escape, Lin Feng. I looked at Sun Yan, then glanced at Shen Yanzi, lying on the bed like a dead dog, and suddenly burst out laughing. Escape? Why would I escape? I pulled a black backpack from behind my back end and zipped it right in front of Sun Yan. It was packed with high explosives. Sun Yan, did you not say you would cook for me for life? Let us play a big game tonight. I pressed the timer, and the red numbers started counting. Down fast. 60, 59, 58. Sun Yan collapsed to the ground, completely hopeless. You maniac, you never planned on getting out alive, did you? The second I realized my heart was coveted by the whole world, I was already dead. I sat on the edge of the bed, staring at the flames outside the window. Now I am just here to take you to my funeral. Right when the timer hit 30 seconds, I saw a wild dog leading his men, charging the door. I faced the security camera, and flashed the brightest smile I have had in 2 years. 1 second before the explosion, I yanked Sun Yan up hard and leapt straight off the 3rd-floor terrace. Below us was the Shen family's private swimming pool. Boom! Violent flames instantly devoured the entire top floor. The shockwave shattered half the villa's windows. I held onto Sun Yan's collar tightly, dragging her as deep as I could. Countless pieces of rubble rained down from above, burning wooden beams plunging into the water like meteors, making a sharp, hissing sound. Lack of oxygen made me hallucinate. Vaguely, through the flames, I saw Shen Yanzi's twisted face slowly melting away. I held my breath with the last of my strength and dragged the unconscious Sun Yan out through the pool's bottom circulation drain. It was a secret passage I had built by bribing renovation workers 2 weeks in advance. It led straight to the moat outside the manor. When I popped my head out of the foul river water, the distant villa was already in ruins. I wiped the blood and water off my face, glancing at Sun Yan lying on the bank like a dead fish. She was still breathing, just choked on water. I had no time for pity. For her, I knew wild dogs men would search here soon. I slung Sun Yan over my shoulder and vanished into the dark wilderness. 2 hours later, in a rundown hideout, in the old town of Zhongcheng, last safe house I had kept for myself 2 years ago. Coughing violently, Sun Yan spat out a mouthful of dirty water and slowly opened her eyes. Lin Feng, you are still alive. Sorry to disappoint you. I did not look up, keeping my focus on sharpening the knife mechanically, over and over. Shen Yanzi is dead, burned to charcoal in the fire. Sun Yan, that equity agreement you spent 3 years planning, there is not even a speck of ash left of it now. Ha ha ha. Good that it is gone. That useless loser should have disappeared from our sight long ago. Lin Feng, since he is gone and we escaped, let us take the 500,000 yuan in your bank account, buy new identities, and leave. Let us go abroad to a place where no one knows us. I will still be your good wife. I will have kids for you. I mean it. Sun Yan, do you really think I have been wasting my time these past 2 years? You are still putting on an act. I pulled an encrypted memory card from my pocket, one I had swiped from Dr. Chen's office, and plugged it into the beat-up old laptop next to me. This is Dr. Chen's secret archive. Besides Shen Yanzi's medical records, there is also an observation report on Shadow Fiend inside. I clicked on one of the files. The text on the screen made Sun Yan's smile freeze instantly. What does memory falsification mean? Speak. Lin Feng, do you really think you are a killer? Do you really believe you quit the business for me 2 years ago? You actually were a killer. But you got caught by the organization on a mission. They did not kill you. Instead, they turned you into a test subject. They wiped part of your memory and implanted that fake backstory about you quitting the business to live an ordinary life. The so-called hero saving the beauty, the so-called 2 years of being together, was all part of the experimental setup. Impossible. I remember us going grocery shopping, burning the bottom of the pot when we cooked for the first time. I remember every detail. All that talk of us saving up for wedding rings, that was a lie. There is a chip in your head helping you construct a fake reality. You actually thought you were saving me, but you were really just helping it pass the ultimate test. Shen Yanzi wanted your heart, not just for a blood match, but because it contains the integrated biological systems, the base station this agency spent hundreds of millions of dollars to build. I sank into the chair. If my memory is a lie, what was the point of my entire life? The woman I protected was actually my handler. The memories I loved were just cold lines of software code. Was Shen Yanji in on this too? No, was the wild card. The Shen family funds our entire operation. When Shen Yanzi was on his deathbed, they demanded the agency deliver the results of this experiment directly to him. They agreed to save his life, but that was never my plan. I want the entire fortune of the Shen family. I just need Shen Yanji to sign the contract. Once he receives your transplanted heart, I will control his neural chip and rule the entire Shen group. Lin Feng, I did all of this for us. As long as we stand together, all of Jiangcheng will be ours. Then, I heard heavy combat boots crunching on dry leaves. They are here. That old bastard wild dog tracked us down faster than I expected. Lin Feng, hand over Sun Yan, and I will let you die in one piece. You will let me go? No, you can go tell your boss yourself. This entire experiment is officially over. Wait, do not shoot. I am Su Qing. I slipped through the back window under the cover of thick smoke. But as I fled, I glanced back. Wild Dog raised his pistol, dead-eyed, and fired 3 times. Right into Sun Yan's chest. A handler who fails their mission has no right to live. She collapsed into her own blood, eyes wide open, staring blankly up at the sky. The sky she once believed she could rule. I did not stop. I ran hard through the dark, chest heaving. I was not doing this for some fake fiancé anymore. Nor was I trying to escape the assassin life. I had to uncover my true identity. And this place was the beating heart of the agency. Slipping into a diving suit, I swam up through the city sewers, heading straight for the third basement of the lab. The facility glowed with eerie, high-tech blue light. Clear incubation vats were packed with strange, pulsing human organs. Dodging the armed guards on patrol, I slipped quietly into a private office. On the wall was a massive group photograph. In the center stood a silver-haired old man, and the person standing right next to him was me. No, that was not me. Even though the face was identical, the sheer cruelty in his eyes was worse than the shadow demon in his prime. The photo was dated May 12, 2023, 3 years ago. But my mind insisted that back then, I was executing a hit in Southeast Asia. I flipped open a classified file on the desk with shaking hands. The very first page destroyed my entire reality. It was a cloning blueprint labeled Project Shadow. The project files proved I was never some captured hitman. I am nothing but a clone. Every single memory of my legendary past as a deadly assassin was stolen from the real shadow demon and pasted into my brain. That is why Shen Yanji shares my exact blood type. He is also a flawed, failed clone. The family manufactured him using advanced cloning to carry on their bloodline. But his body has a severe genetic defect, which is why he desperately needs my healthy heart to survive. My supposed fiancé, my return to the underground, it was all an elaborate medical hoax. Have you finally figured it all out? My number 2, you are far more clever and resilient than number 1. Truly worthy of being the fully evolved model. Post-chip integration, I squeezed my hands into fists, my knuckles popping. Where is the real shadow demon? The old man grinned, pointing further. Subterranean. He has been in stasis there for 3 years, serving as our perfect genetic template. And you, Lin Feng, are about to complete your final purpose. The old man clicked a button. The office walls parted smoothly to reveal a massive laboratory. Resting right in the middle of the room was a giant cryogenic chamber. A shirtless man lay inside the chamber, a long scar carved across his chest. That was the real shadow demon. Right beside the cryo chamber, Shen Yanji was sitting in a wheelchair. He did not die. The man burned in that fire was just a body double we threw to the wolves. Lin Feng, thanks to your attack, the entire world believes I am gone. Now I can safely transplant your heart, seize control of the Shen family, and rule over everything. Old man, let's begin. I have waited for this heart for far too long. Lin Feng, either step up here yourself, or let Wild Dog drag your body up. I suddenly remembered Sun Yan's cold, dead eyes, and a lion Liu Yan once told me, if you discover your entire world is a lie, the only proof that you exist is your rage. Fine, I will cooperate, but before you start cutting me open, I want to show you all something. Mr. Shen, do you really think you will survive once you get my heart? Do you even know who owns this laboratory? The silver-haired old man standing right next to you is actually the primary creditor of the entire Shen group. Lin Feng, you are on the verge of death and still trying to divide us. See for yourself if this is a lie. I clicked the button on the flash drive. Instantly, the laboratory screens displayed a series of secret contracts signed between this old man and key members of the Shen family. Shen Yanji's face turned completely pale. You set me up, humph, you idiot, young Master Shen. Why couldn't you just remain a quiet puppet? You had to play the hero. Since number 2 knows everything, the act is over. Wild Dog, tear out his heart now. And prep the forced transplant. Ready the consciousness override. Grabbing Dr. Chen's scalpel, I realized my 2 years of normal life were just implanted memories, but my assassin instincts are written in my DNA. I drove the blade directly into Wild Dog's wrist. His pistol dropped, I caught it midair, and aimed at the high voltage power grid on the ceiling, firing 3 rapid shots. A blinding blue flash instantly engulfed the room the exact moment the high-voltage tanks detonated. The entire space became a lethal electrical grid. Ignoring my shattered, numb arm from the blast, I rolled hard across the floor as Wild Dog and the old man shrieked. During those 2 years of quiet living, while I washed dishes and knitted sweaters, I still trained hard every single morning. That was not for fitness, it was survival instinct. Driven by a raw instinct for survival in my genes, I watched Wild Dog collapse like a puppet with cut strings without making a sound. The very man who taught me how to kill ended up dying by the silent execution technique he was most proud of. I picked up his rifle, aiming it straight at the silver-haired old man, who gasped, "Don't shoot. Lin Feng, or should I say, number 2, calm down. You are a masterpiece. Kill me, and nobody can calibrate the chip in your head. You will end up brain dead." A chip? You think I care about that? The moment I found out my memories were stolen, I stopped caring if I lived or died. Live or die. Where do you think you are going, young Master Shen? Ah, just shoot me, please, I beg you, just kill me. Death is too easy for you. I will make you watch as this heart you desperately wanted destroys your entire empire. With my own hands. Right at that moment, a heavy, muffled thud echoed deep inside the laboratory. The frozen pod holding the original Shadow Fiend slowly creaked open all on its own. Because of the circuit overload, the cryo system failed entirely. The emergency wake-up protocol triggered, and the original was now awake. Serial number 1740. 19. That was his official designation in the organization. 1749. Kill him, kill number 2, I am your master. Obey me. Suddenly, he lunged, squelch. The mastermind behind the Shen group was instantly reduced to a bloody pulp. Then, the original's eyes locked onto me, his own identical clone. I tightened my grip on the rifle. I knew a brutal showdown was starting. Clone versus original. You are me, he said. No, I am Lin Feng, the idiot who saved up for a wedding ring. Just a regular guy eating cheap rice porridge in a cramped rental. Lin Feng sounds nice. I only know how to kill. Before he even finished, he vanished. I did not hesitate. I opened fire, spraying full auto straight ahead. The original darted like a ghost through the scattered laboratory equipment. He needed no guns. His bare hands were lethal weapons. Suddenly, a blinding pain shot through my shoulder, numbing my entire left side. He had shattered my shoulder blade with one brutal strike. I dropped to the floor, whipped out my tactical knife, and slashed at his ankle. It was a vicious, bloody melee. We shared the same genetic code, the exact same reflexes, and combat training. He predicted my every move, and every punch he threw. I barely managed to deflect. You can't win, he hissed. You are just a cheap, weakened copy, a disposable toy. I felt my air running out, my vision darkening, but in that moment, I did not think of survival tactics. I pictured Sun Yan cooking in the kitchen, humming softly. Even if it was all a lie, a fabricated setup, that warmth was the most real thing I had ever known. Even clones have something to fight for. I reached for the wedding band Sun Yan gave me. When Liu Yan upgraded it, he hit a high-frequency jammer inside. Zap! An invisible electromagnetic pulse blasted through the room. My skull felt like it was splitting open as my neural chip fried. The original screamed, clutching his head as his body convulsed. Because his processor was far more advanced than mine, the feedback loop hit him twice as hard. This was my only shot. I snatched a fallen scalpel, drove it forward with everything I had left, and plunged it straight into his chest. He froze, staring down at the blade in his heart before meeting my gaze. The coldness in his eyes melted away, leaving only quiet relief. "Thank you," he whispered. He slumped over my shoulder. The legend who dominated the underworld for 10 years was slain by his own shadow. I rolled his heavy body off me, panting. The emergency lights in the room flickered and dimmed. Shen Yanzi was unconscious, passed out from the pain of his broken bone and sheer terror. I dragged myself to the cryo tank and located a concealed safe. Pressing the original's dead finger to the scanner, I triggered the lock. Inside sat a single, glowing vial. The ultimate prize, the serum that both the Shins and the old director would kill for. This genetic key cures all clone defects, granting true immortality. So many families torn apart, so many lives destroyed for this small bottle. People spent 3 long years plotting for this, but the world doesn't deserve. To judge my next move, I headed for the exit, grabbing the half-dead Shen Yanji by the collar as I went. I didn't drag him out to save his life, but to force him to stand trial for his sins. I will drag the entire Shen group's dirty secrets into the light. Step by step, I left the facility. Behind, outside, the first light of dawn was breaking, but my legs gave out after only a few paces. I collapsed into the dirt, Lin Feng, Lin Feng. A familiar voice echoed. Squinting, I saw Lu Yuan sprinting toward me with backup. I knew a tough kid like you wouldn't kick the bucket so easily. He helped me stand, taking in my blood-soaked body. His eyes welled up. Did you secure the serum? It is gone, I whispered. Destroyed. For the best. Let's get you home. Home, Lu Yuan. Even my name is a fabrication. Where do I belong? Those memories might be artificial. Yes, he said, but the people you protected over the last 2 years, the elderly neighbors you helped, the genuine kindness you offered, that was real. Nobody ever gave you a real identity. So from this day on, you are the real Lin Feng. Right then, my cell phone buzzed in my pocket. An automated message had just gone through. From Sun Yan. With shaking fingers, I opened the screen. Lin Feng, when you read this, it'll all be over. The truth is, long before our first meeting, I spent 3 months tracking you on security feeds. I was ordered to monitor someone else, but I volunteered. For your detail. The rice porridge I cooked for those 2 years was awful, but I secretly wanted to share it with you forever. I am sorry. In a world of deception, clones, and backstabbing, our fleeting moment of truth was forged in the depths of hell. Intensive Care Unit, Chongqing City Central Hospital. I opened my eyes 3 days later. You are one tough survivor, Lu Yuan said. Your nerves were shot, and the chemical overload from that fried ship nearly left you paralyzed, but you survived. I tried to speak, my voice completely hoarse. And the shins, Lu Yuan let out a dry, cold laugh, passing me a tablet. The screen was plastered with breaking news. Shen Yanji survived, but he will be rotting behind bars for the rest of his days. He went wild in court, screaming he was the one true God. So, they dumped him in the deepest ward of the psych hospital for some secret reason. The Search Institute is completely wiped out, but where is Sun Yan? The cops found her body in the chemical plant ruins. I buried her by the sea, just like you wanted. As for the stuff you told me to search for in her apartment, I brought it back. That day felt like when we first met. With trembling hands, I typed in the password and inserted the memory card into the tablet. What popped up on the screen was not files, but a video showing our tiny, cramped rental apartment. Sun Yan was wearing that floral apron I love, recording herself. She said, I know you always suspected me. You are right, I am a spy, but I hid one thing from the agency and everyone else. 2 years ago, when I ran your gene sequence, I realized you are not defective. You are the awakened one the old man fears most. After the chip was implanted in your brain, it made a special antibody. This antibody is slowly eating away your fake memories and rebuild in your personality with your own real experiences. It means you are becoming a real human. I stared at the screen, my heart pounding wildly. I still stole the stabilizer the agency was originally going to give to Shen Yanji. It is hidden inside that ring. It is not a diamond ring, but a biodegradable pump. It holds the only substance that can completely clear the remaining chip fragments from your body, repairing your damaged nerves. Lin Feng, this is the only thing I can do for you. Do not go back to Zhangcheng. Go to the beach we promised to visit. No clones, no killers, only the wind. Lin Feng, watch the sunset there for me. Okay. The screen went black. I picked up the ring and pressed it gently. A thin needle shot out of the bottom. Without hesitating, I jabbed it into my palm. A cool liquid surged through my veins, spreading across my entire body in seconds. At that exact moment, the mocking voices in my head and those messy double images receded like a tide. My mind became crystal clear. It felt like this body, Finn, a lie, truly belonged to me. The day they discharged me, Lugan gave me a ride. Passing the ruined remains of Shin's building, I spotted a man standing on the sidewalk in a black trench coat. He wore sunglasses, staring up at the wreckage. I slammed hard on the brakes and threw the door open, and ran out. Who are you? I demanded. The man slowly turned around and slid off his sunglasses. He had my exact same face, but he was not Shen Yanji, nor was he the original shadow fiend I stabbed through the heart. His eyes held a look I had never seen before, deep, ancient, and weathered. There was a tiny, dark red mark with the number 3 behind his right ear. It was Subject 3, listed as pending in the files. You are actually still alive. He looked. Like Sun Yan made the right choice. Whose side are you on anyway? I do not belong to anyone. After the old man died, the agency descended into brutal infighting. I grabbed some files during the chaos and wiped out all your biological backups along the way. From now on, there is no more clone Lin Feng. You are just Lin Feng. He handed me a brand new passport and bank card. Sun Yin had me prepare these for you. She said the $500,000 she owed is fully paid off. Did she leave any other message? She said her biggest regret was not having twins with you. But what she never regretted was letting you save her on purpose on the street that day. With that, number 3 put his sunglasses back on, turned, and vanished into the bustling crowd. I stood under the scorching sun and looked at John Cheng. Around me was heavy traffic and a bustling world. No one knew what kind of terrible evils had once taken place here. No one would guess that the man haggling at the wet market was once this world's deadliest shadow. I went back to our rental apartment. I tucked Sun Yin's photo and the ring safely inside my jacket. Before leaving, I saw our neighbor Aunt Wang collecting laundry on her balcony. Hey Shaolin, back from your business trip. Where is your wife? I haven't seen her buying groceries for days. She went back home. I am going to pick her up now. Wonderful, bring her back soon. I am still waiting for that wedding banquet. I nodded, slung my bag over my shoulder, and headed downstairs. 6 months later, in a small southern coastal town, I opened a little noodle shop by the sea. I wake up early every single day, knead dough, and simmer broth. The sunsets here are breathtaking, spilling golden light across the sea like shattered pieces of broken dreams. I sat on the sand, clutching that platinum diamond ring. It glinted brightly in the sun. I gently set it on a small mound of sand. Nyan, I finally saw the sun set. It is truly beautiful, but I still think you look better when you are cooking. The sea breeze carried away my whisper. Suddenly, my phone vibrated. It was a text from Liu Yuan. I shut the phone off and hurled it into the ocean. The waves crashed in, swallowing the final link to that dark world. I stood up and brushed the sand off my pants. Inside the shop, a customer was calling out, "Boss, another bowl of noodles, and add an egg." "Coming right up."